Okay, I've been playing on the actual console for a little bit too long, I think, because I started out making everything too early on there.
Oh, Persona.
And,
Actually, I don't feel like the women in Persona are particularly well endowed. I mean, they actually seem almost human-shaped for the most part. I don't know if that's really why some of the older Persona players might not like the fact that there's the pandering, and it might be that in terms of getting characters interested. But I do find it interesting that it is all a connected world, even if the characters don't necessarily have a connection to each other. They announced Skyrim too, but it's just like, whatever.
yeah.
The game's 5 years old. I didn't like it when it first came out. I'm not excited about it being on Nintendo. I mean, literally the only thing that Nintendo has on for Skyrim is color, because you can't have a Nintendo game unless there's color.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played a Persona game either. I've just gotten into it recently. I'm watching a couple YouTubers that I know, some funny guys, played, and I recently watched Persona 4 anime a little bit. So I have a general gist of the story and how the whole function works, and how the main character is so freaking bland, and it's up to you and your choices to give him some level of personality. Suda51, I think he said Travis Trustdown's coming back, so that implies No More Heroes 3. So that's great news, because No More Heroes was amazing. Some EA games, no one cares.
Yes, isn't it funny how everyone thinks, or at least all of them think, that everyone's chomping at the bit for the new FIFA?
Well, I'm not saying FIFA's bad. It's probably one of the better choices of sports games.
Granted,
but
yeah.
I at the very least, they're not openly saying like I would. It's like, okay, so I'm a gaming company and I built my own system, and screw all you jocks that want to play video games. We don't support your sports video game habit. Because that would just alienate players. That would just alienate potential buyers.
Right.
Just because the games are bad doesn't mean they shouldn't have them. I mean, I have nothing particularly nice to say about most Call of Duty games, but I will say at the very least that, you know, it sells.
Yeah.
Let's see. I really gotta look in to see if there's gonna be any Switch demos that nearby that we can take part of.
Oh yeah.
Because that's like a road trip, and it's just like, hey, let's literally go on a road trip just so we can try out the Switch.
Okay, so we've actually made it past the first couple of levels this time. So this run I will complete no matter what.
But I fell apart when the Zelda news hit. It's just like, The Legend of Zelda, suck it, Skyrim. Just open world, colorful story, just colorful characters. The level of shipping going on between Link and Zelda is so powerful that it can circumnavigate the globe multiple times. It's just like, oh my god, it looks so good. There's voice acting. They even allow for all versions of the game is gonna have original Japanese voice acting as well. It's just like, I don't know the story
to accompany
yet.
the anti-region locking.
Oh yeah, anti-region locking. No more region locking. I love it.
Beautiful thing.
That means that eventually, when we get the petting game first, eventually we can pet our waifus or our husbandos, whatever you're into, on Fire Emblem when that eventually becomes a thing.
Ain't that swell?
Personally, I'm not actually. I don't know. That's not Nintendo's decision about the Spyro trilogy. I mean, right now, Spyro is property of Activision, which makes Skylanders. I mean, they did recently make a TV show for Skylanders where they actually had Crash Bandicoot show up, of all things, and they gave Crash Bandicoot a voice.
Oh wow.
Which was, in my opinion, actually really cool. I mean, of course, it's just another cash grab. It's like, hey kids, do you like this cartoon? Boy, do we! So it's like, then you should buy the toys and games related to it. Okay!
Right.
But then, let's see. As far as I can tell with the Zelda game, I think this whole Calamity thing is basically Link wakes up, he has no idea what's going on, but from what I know of the trailers, if I had to guess, what happens next is that something terrible happened and that nothing could be done to stop it at the time. then they just threw Link into a time chamber where he would sleep for 100 years. And so, like, okay, Link, you can come out now and save the world. And that's pretty much what's going on. But it seems like there's a heavy emphasis on the Shikai in this series, in this new game. So I think this might finally tell the backstory as to what caused the Shikai to betray the royal family. Because
I'm into that.
Because they've been mentioning it since Ocarina of Time, that it used to be that the Shikai there was a bloody war, there were many dead, and the Shikai had few remaining survivors. And at one point, the Shikai's symbol was just an eye, but after their betrayal, that they betrayed the royal family, a tear was added to it as repentance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the whole situation, but I am...
It's been alluded to so much. There has to be more.
Yeah, I feel like that there's something huge is supposed to... The Shikai are a huge relevance to the story in Breath of the Wild. And, you know, I'm just so excited. I mean, the trailer of Link running around kicking butt, I mean, he blew up like 50 guys with a single arrow. And it's just like, God damn, Link! And, it's coming out at launch with the Switch, which is like the main reason I'm debating whether or not I really want to buy a Switch at launch.
Mm-hmm. New skip?
New skip.
Right there. And that's very tight, actually.
And let's not even forget about the huge amount of third-party developers.
Oh my god. You're telling me.
I mean, it's just like, just those 3 words already makes it better than the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Wii U. I love it. I think it's a solid system. I love the gameplay. I love the fact you can use your old controllers on it. It's great. It's games that were made by anyone but Nintendo, not so great.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
Like, Ubisoft had a huge library for the Wii U, and every single one of those games was kind of garbage.
Yeah.
But it looks like the Switch is gonna have a decent starting lineup.
Mm-hmm. They made sure to indicate that too.
Yeah, I mean, they're showing off quite a few good games, and they're making sure that Zelda's available at launch. Which, you know, I'm always happy for when the Zelda comes later in launch, just so that there's more availability. But they've been working on this game so long that I'm sure that they hammered out all the kinks. Please let them have hammered out all the kinks. I remember that a lot of the delays they claimed were caused because the development, the physics engine of the game was really tricky.
Oh yeah, the physics engine is supposed to be huge.
Well, the world itself is supposed to be, like, I hear 3 times the size of Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge world.
Which is already mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, for a while, before the game was announced, it was called Legend of Zelda, Climb All the Fucking Mountains.
Right.
Hey, whatever you want to call the Wii U, I liked the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a good console, it just was not marketed properly. It was like the Sega Dreamcast of Nintendo consoles.
Yeah.
We're gonna ignore the Virtual Boy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is...
Another gold split. So that skip did save some significant time. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. So are you saying you might very well just have a new record on this as well?
Maybe. We'll have to see. It's going pretty well so far. The Wii 2.
Weenie.
Yes. We need to talk.
We need to talk. I did like that campaign with the Wii. With the Wii, it's like, we would like to play. They just show up hand guys the controllers. That wasn't a bad. I mean, the Wii had so much power behind it, so much potential. Mm-hmm. Just the following behind it, and it was great when it came at launch. It was people fought over it. People died trying to get a Wii. Mm-hmm. I know that for a fact.
It's a big deal.
It's just a shame that it fell apart.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, people that was really when the whole concept of power in a system came into play. I mean, they argued it a bit in both Nintendo and Sega during the console wars when they were the big kahunas. But it's just when PlayStation and Xbox were showing off their power, it's just like, hey, look, you can play your childhood classics from the PlayStation 3, yada yada, and you can play Halo and such on the Xbox 360, blah. I don't know. I mean, I was never into shooters back then, and I've only recently decided to like them, and that's because I like games with personality, such as Borderlands and Overwatch. Because I feel like those games had some real fun to them. I even played BioShock, which I thought, wow, this game has some real appeal to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just like games where you're murdering virtually everybody for the because well, that's just the score. I just didn't like that. I felt like the game had no personality to it then.
I'm totally in the same boat.
I mean, Overwatch is an objective game. It's just like, here's your goal, accomplish your goal. And that's why I always lose, because my team doesn't understand what standing on the point is about. It's just like,
what's the point of the point?
You stand on it and it becomes yours. Don't you want it?
Oh!
Does it let me kill people? Sometimes. I don't know. I like the special brawls that they did for the holiday events. I mean, I loved playing brawls a lot for a game. Before the brawls were just like, hey, play whatever you want. But I think my favorite game mode recently has definitely been 3v3 elimination.
Oh yeah.
Because I usually go in with Roadhog, and everyone knows that Roadhog is the most powerful character in that mode because he's got 600 HP naturally. He has no armor or barrier, but he's still pretty durable because of that extra HP. And he has a very short cooldown heal that restores his 300 HP in a matter of seconds. So he charges his ult doing that, and he's got his hook that grabs an enemy, pulls him in, and if they're a low health enemy, well, guess what? They're about to have a face full of buckshot. Last week we managed to get sub 20.
Yeah. It was 1953. It's not on YouTube yet, but it's, I mean, it's done. It's...
Careful for
sub
the
20
Trollton.
exists.
Careful for the Trollton.
Yes. This guy has messed up so many runs.
Yes, Roadhog is a little too tanky, but he's getting his balance soon. But his durability does come from the fact that he can heal massive quantities, and also the fact that he's constantly healing charges his ultimate quickly. If you charge his ultimate enough, you basically can just fry an enemy out of nowhere. But yeah, no, Roadhog is pretty much a staple choice in that game constantly. Because you pretty much never see a 3v3 happen where someone isn't playing a Roadhog. Other good characters are pretty much anyone that can heal themselves or heal naturally over time.
Well, no, you don't. Yeah, that's right. That is right. Get biffed.
So because he can displace enemies and leave them vulnerable for a moment, and then just blast them in the face, he's pretty much one of the most picked. He's pretty much the most picked character in 3v3. Let's see. Another good choice is Mei, of course, because she can make herself invulnerable and heal herself at the same time. She has displacement abilities, nasty forms of barriers. And of course, everyone's favorite, she can freeze people, rendering them completely immobile.
Ain't it swell?
Another good pick would be Soldier 76, who's fast, damaging, and, you know, basically the Call of Duty character, but he can heal himself and allies. So, you know, that makes him a pretty welcome character.
Oh yeah.
Lucio, not the best in terms of fighting. He can heal himself and run away really well, so if he needs to force a draw, there's a very good chance that he can. Another good pick would be Anna, because she can prevent healing and she can deal a fair amount of damage. A lot of characters' abilities and durability comes from the fact that they can just heal themselves.
Son, was that another gold split?
Yeah.
Let's go.
What the hell are those things?
Sucker bugs. And I can save a little bit of time right here by skipping that checkpoint. Because there's one literally right here.
Oh, so much for that.
Yeah, so maybe that timing is pertinent. So we're just gonna forget about that skip, quote unquote. Maybe in a task I can use it.
Tool assist speedrun, you mean?
Yeah, which eventually I want to do with this game. Because they don't exist yet.
Fair enough. Let's see. Mercy, of course, because she heals herself naturally over time after she stops taking damage for a second. And if she can actually charge up her ultimate, she, in fact, can res her dead teammates. Which, of course, is heartbreakingly annoying to deal with. Because it's like, yeah, and at first it's just like, okay, you only gotta kill 3 of them, now you gotta kill 5.
Right. Okay, this is a problem. There we go. Mercy is waifu.
I agree.
Fregasm.
Excellent choice. I understand why people don't like May, but she is a real cutie, but she is also the most irritating character to fight in the game. Let's see. Other welcome characters in 3v3 matches. Like I said, anybody that can heal themselves, but Diva, I suppose, is a strong choice. She's pretty good. She's really only good short range, but she does plenty of damage, and you don't kill her the first time just because you destroy her mech. Even after getting nerfed, she's still still a pain. And of course, you think you may have gotten him, you think you may have gotten her, but then she gets back in the mech, and then you have to try to destroy the mech again, but guess what? Self-destruct sequence. So that's always a heartbreak. Anyways, Abrain, while I do agree with you that Mercy is waifu, I think best girl is Symmetra. I don't know, something about Symmetra, I like her style. Maybe it's the legs. Maybe it's just because I love melting 3 enemies down before they even realize about how much damage I'm actually pushing out. Scarel? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean by that, bud. Anywho, so yeah, I play 3v3 where the game mode really is killing somebody. That way, I feel like me and my teammates are all on the same boat, even if they all decide that, hey, you know what, I'm gonna be a sniper! It's just like, guys, we barely need 1 sniper, why do you think we need 2? Because snipers are strong, they can kill enemies in 1 hit. Yeah, if they hit!
Keyword hit.
So that's, you know, always a drag when you're having to deal with enemies that, teammates that think, oh, I'm just gonna snipe, and then you're dealing with enemy snipers, and they're always god tier for some reason. Well, even if they're not. I mean, if they're not, they're probably actually gonna be dead before I even get a chance to reach them. Like I said, I usually choose Roadhog, and snipers are all very fragile. Though, you gotta be careful of Anna. Diva?
Diva.
No, Diva's spelled has her tag name D.VA.
Right. Doctor of Virginia.
Let's see, Borderlands is a game with a lot of personality, even if it's a lot of crude humor, but I feel like it's a lot of fun, even if it's a shooter, because it's a cooperative team-based shooter where everything is pretty much your enemy. And you're basically, the only real enemy is you and your friends arguing over who gets the loot.
So that was another gold split. I got some pretty good luck with the fire that time.
Oh, yeah. Spiky.
2 more.
Yeah. Feeling a bit flushed there, Death. Low
You
crossover.
look some pale.
Low crossover, I get it. Ah, you blew it!
He got over here too quickly. There we go. And we still managed this 1946. That is
Yeah,
a new record, my friends. Woo!
Wow, what a productive day we had. And we went half an hour over time. Okay, so there you have it, Abra, my friend.